let's just go ahead and begin with sort of what happened on April 30th when you and the others were called in.
Okay, we had been trying for about a month or so to get a meeting with the administration because I've been hearing rumors from different administrators since about August that something was in the works. And for the past couple months, we've sort of been talking about everything, coming up with contingency plans, how we're going to deal with this when it comes to pass. Initially, we were told, or I was told basically, that we would be moved off campus and given no support from the administration. So at the meeting on Monday, we were given two options. And they said that it would be basically an individual decision as to what we're going to do. But the first option was to move the current production of the paper off campus for next year. They would provide no financial support. They said we could have a conversation about distribution rights on campus. And that was basically the gist of the first option. The second option was that we would function and operate under a new charter. And they told us that the Board of Trustees would be voting on Saturday as to whether or not to rescind the current charter of the paper. The new charter creates two new positions, one of which is the student media coordinator, who will answer directly to the Vice President for Student Development. And then a newspaper production advisor, which will be a salaried position. They would hire someone in the community, probably, and then maybe allow that person to teach classes or something like that. But they would be paid basically just to work with the U-News. They said 20 to 40 hours a week. So those two things I think are great. Those are the two parts of the charter that I do like. The production of the newspaper production advisor and the student media coordinator are great ideas. The problem is that the newspaper production advisor and the media coordinator will be appointed by the Office of Student Development. So if they possibly don't like the content that we're running, the newspaper advisor will be blamed for it, basically. So he can also be, he or she could also be dismissed by the Student Development Office. Under the new charter, the selection of editors will be by the advisory board, but that has to be approved by the Office of Student Development. So the editors will no longer be selected by the editor-in-chief. The editor-in-chief will no longer be voted on and elected by the editors. So that whole process is completely taken out of our hands, which is the main problem that we have with the new charter. If our job security depends on the content we're running, because we would be university employees under the new charter, if it depends on that, then we're basically going to be talking about the pretty flowers around campus because, you know, no one wants to lose their job like that because of an editorial. I mean, since we are chartered through the university, when we sit down an editorial board, it's our editorial content is already somewhat affected by the fact that we're not completely independent, and we have to answer to the university ultimately. But we would definitely, under the new charter, not be able to be objective journalists and properly analyze the functions and operations of the university like we currently do. So.